Hello! I cannot tell you how excited I am to be presenting to you guys today. Teaching is really my absolute favorite thing to do, mostly because it involves being around other human beings and not being awake at 4 a.m. like all of us bakers do. Today we're going to be discussing 3 ways you're killing your home baking business dead, D-E-A-D. And I know that no one wants to do that, but many entrepreneurs start their business with passion, some skill, maybe some really encouraging friends or family telling you, oh my gosh, you should totally be selling these, and you just start selling without much thought. I want you guys to succeed long term, not 1 year, not 5 years, but make this into a passion and a career that's rewarding in many ways. So listen up. So some quick modifiers here. This presentation isn't for everyone. I'm not speaking to hobby bakers who are only interested in selling to friends and family. I'm talking to the girl with goals, in caps, G-O-A-L-S, the gal who's been busting her butt, reading all the free stuff out there that sometimes contradicts itself, or the girl who feels like you've been posting to every group on Facebook, but you're still not booked up like you want to be. Or maybe you're working full-time at your side gig, but making crap pay. But if we're all being honest, I know sometimes I just want to make cookies, darn it. Why does it feel like you have to have a business management degree or a social media marketing or accounting degree just to make ends meet? And how does everybody else seem to know automatically what the heck they're doing? You have big, big dreams. You want to open a storefront or be Instagram famous or make $50,000 a year because that's our Texas cottage law salary cap. You want to take your business to the next level, but you have no clue how to get there. In the next 30-ish minutes, you'll discover how trying to make people happy with your pricing is actually biting you in the butt and is a guaranteed way to make sure you end up poor and with carpal tunnel syndrome. We'll learn where to allocate your time so that you show up where it counts, where your customers can see you and your product without looking desperate or like you're begging people to order. You know those folks. We both see what they look like. I feel sorry for them. Send them my way. They need help. And I'll show you how to do it, how trying to do it alone is a huge rookie mistake that can delay your progress by years and even cause the death of your business. I mean, I like making cookies, right? We all enjoy what we do. That's why we started doing this. But let's be honest, that's not enough. If you don't start seeing some results from all this work, you're going to quit every 6 months until you figure out how to keep from burning out. I don't want you to quit every 6 months. That's not a very efficient way to do business. So what does this slide look like to you? Not the picture, although it's gorgeous in a somewhat unsanitary French countryside sort of way. I mean the frustrating side, where you feel like no one will pay premium prices because you live in a Walmart town, or your neighbor is undercutting you so badly that you can't imagine ever turning a profit. Or you have no time to figure out that magical social media algorithm all the bloggers are talking about, or what to post to Instagram, or why you should be an LLC, or how to even track your expenses. And when you ask these questions on social media, everyone has an answer. And it's a different answer from everyone. And you could spend the next year searching for this info because you truly can learn how to do anything on the internet. Because you have so much free time to learn how to be a professional businesswoman in the real world. Am I right? Are you tired of working all the hours and still not getting ahead? Does it sound like you? What's the longest you've stayed up? I mean, it shouldn't be a contest, but it's kind of a thing of pride with bakers, right? So let's be honest, because I'm 38 this year, and it is not as easy as it used to be. I'm actually having to sleep now, and it's kind of messed up with my scheduling. Very disappointing. Have you ever been on Instagram and seen some cute cookiers? Photos that really had some cute stuff but weren't anywhere near your skill level, but she has 25,000 followers. Or maybe someone was only been in business for 3 years, but they've got 150,000 followers, and you've been slaving for 5 years or 7 years and can't get 3 people to like your posts. Here's a somewhat hurtful truth bomb. Hashtag truth bomb. You can make the most delicious cookies in the world, master every advanced technique, and be the world's greatest decorator. But until you quit doing these 3 things that we're going to talk about tonight, you are not going to reach your business goals. So once you quit doing the crap that's gotten you here to this point of frustration, you will have a business that best represents you with appreciative clients who seek you out to make their dreams come true. So let me introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Evans. I've owned Cookies Please for 8 years now. I make custom decorated sugar cookies that reach business clients in a tangible way. I teach fun, relaxing cookie classes for groups and individuals, and I coach new and experienced home bakers to new levels of business excellence. I absolutely love small businesses. I love supporting them. I'm inspired by them, and I want to learn from them and help them any way I can. I'm passionate about excellent coffee. My second best business expense has been a high-end espresso maker. Can't live without it. I have 19 chickens at last count, but we have a bobcat that's local and quite a few coyotes in our backyard. So here's hoping that Pants and Socks and Nike and all of their friends make it back to the coop tonight. I'm also a wife and a mom. You can see my super tolerant husband, Will, here. And I teach my 2 amazing daughters every day in our homeschool. They're super smart and very laid back. I'm not sure where they got that from. The laid back part, not the smart part. My husband is a real life genius, and I love learning, something I'm trying to instill in them. But it was not always like my contoured professional Instagram family picture you see here. Ignore my notifications there, sorry. I went to TCU and graduated with a degree in nutrition and dietetics, bounced around to a few jobs, worked for a hospital, worked for a prison. My husband jokes that he got me out when he married me, and I realized that after my kids were born, I had no desire to ever go back to the field that my degree is in. It's not something I was interested in. So that left me where exactly? No job experience, no really any sort of real life experience except for possibly being the world's worst waitress. I was a stay-at-home mom with my kids, which I always wanted to do, stay at home with my kids just like my mom did. However, I am not a huge fan of the baby stage, so I found that to be catastrophically mind-numbing. I know lots of you guys are great with babies, and that's awesome. If I accidentally get pregnant, I'll hit you up for some babysitting services. I started my business when some sweet moms of our preschool said that my sad attempts at earth cookies for the planetarium field trip were amazing and delicious. So when the Texas Cottage Food Law went into effect that September 2011, I launched my business with a Facebook page. And yeah, that was actually it. I had no preparation for being an entrepreneur. I had no clue about anything business related, pricing, marketing, time management, no clue. And I didn't really think it mattered because I was a mom of young kids. There was no way my little side gig could ever be big enough to do anything while they were still little. I mean, I had big dreams, but I couldn't do anything about them until the kids got out of the house, right? So the problem, if you can call it a problem, was that my business was growing. Thank you, God, despite me being an idiot. So now I was staying up late every single night, all night. I was sleep deprived. I was grouchy, and I was making chump change. I was working 40 hours, 60 hours a week, but making way less than minimum wage. It was super depressing when I sit down to think about it. I was working way too hard for way too little money. I quit every 6 months or so because I was so burned out. I'd just quit for a few months and then miss the fulfillment I felt helping people make their events special and the appreciation that they had for my work and the money, to be honest. But nothing had changed when I came back. What I was doing was not working. I didn't know what I needed to do to get ahead, and I was desperate for a new way to do things. So what changed for me? I started doing things differently because I admitted that I did not know everything. I humbled myself. I was willing to listen to someone else who could help me. I learned some key business practices which created true growth within myself and my business. Within 1 month of implementing these better business practices, I was quintupling my income, reaching new goals, and gaining a sense of peace and confidence and clarity that made the time I invested in my business work more efficient than ever before. It took me 7 years of overwork and underpay to get to this point. I don't want to see another entrepreneur start with dreams and excitement and end up bitter and ready to quit. And I also don't want to see another person like me with natural talent and enthusiasm and moderate levels of success languish in a limbo where they don't know what to do or even know that there is a better way to do what they're doing where they are right now. I want every home baker in Texas to have the skills necessary to get them to their goals, no matter what they look like. So, yeah, be like me in 2019, not me in 2011. Let's do this. Let's get started. First way to guarantee the slow and painful death of your home bakery, pricing to please. Because if you don't want to charge premium prices for premium baked goods, you should go work at Starbucks. At least they have insurance and a 401k. We've all heard fellow bakers or other entrepreneurs say these things. I can't charge more. I don't have enough customers right now. I'll lose the customers I have if I charge more. Or if I offer a discount a couple of times a month, I can at least make a few sales. Here's a hard truth. Your pricing is attracting customers. How high or low your prices are determines the kind of customers you're attracting. Another hard truth. Underpricing makes you look like you don't know what the heck you're doing. And the bottom line, poor artists often go back to work for the man or McDonald's, or they go back to working at their old job because they quit. They give up on their dreams partly because their dreams included actually making money, and that's okay. It's not a dirty word, but they weren't making money partially because of underpricing. 4 myths we're going to talk about tonight about pricing that so many entrepreneurs believe for whatever reason. First, whatever price sells the most must be best. So if I tried selling a $2 cookie and a $10 set of cookies, and I sold more of the $2 cookie for this specific holiday, then the best price for my area must be $2 per cookie. This is a terrible way to price your stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's what I did when I started baking. So what does the most popular price do for your business? It attracts Walmart shoppers. I mean, I love me some Walmart, but I primarily love it because it's cheap. Walmart shoppers want to compare prices and buy the one that's cheaper. You know these customers, their first question to you is often how much, and they use words like reasonable in reference to pricing. Reasonable is a trigger word. Do not get me started on reasonable. A good price is another one. I can't even think of all the other ones that drive me crazy. So if you're pricing your products reasonably or for a good price, then you better be ready to crank out a ton of product because you've got to make a lot more product to make the same amount of profit as someone with higher prices. And the only way that Walmart actually makes a profit is by selling a literal ton. They have a huge sales market and they sell millions of units to get the job done. There's no way you can sell millions of units. You're only one person, and even if you had a shop, you still cannot afford to price like Walmart. One of my favorite quotes is from Richie Norton. He's an amazing author, and he said, pricing is branding. So every time you set a price on something, you're sending a message to your customers. Louis Vuitton is seen as a luxury brand because of its branding, but also because everyone knows that they're pricey. And part of the reason that we think of them as a quality product is because of the pricing. If you saw a Louis at Walmart for $10, you'd expect it to be a fake, regardless of its actual quality. As far as offering discounts or free stuff to try to drum up sales, this leads to people always expecting more and more free stuff. The people who always want free or discounted stuff are often difficult to deal with. You don't want them to be your primary customer base. They expect to be able to bargain with you about your prices. They expect you to cave every time they want to negotiate because of your perceived lack of confidence in your product and business. Let's have a hard moment about your area. I understand that some of you may live in rural areas unaccustomed to custom-baked goods pricing. I can also guarantee you that there are ladies in your town wearing those Louis that we talked about. You cannot ever expect them to value your product if you don't price it appropriately. The only way to be able to demand top prices in your area is to absolutely dominate your market. Not necessarily by offering the fanciest cookies around, but by making your business the powerhouse I know that it can be. Remember, there are rural people out there willing to spend $80,000 on a truck and $150,000 on a tractor, $250 on a pair of boots, $150 on a pair of jeans. They just need to see the value in your product, just like they do those other ones. When your prices match your passion, amazing things start to happen. You start to attract clientele that no longer blinks or does that ghosting thing, where you know that they saw your message, but they don't reply for a long time. Or they say, I'll get back to you after I hear from the other people I messaged. Yeah, I'm going to hold my breath. Your higher prices say to your ideal client, this is a quality luxury good that they will enjoy sharing with their Louis Vuitton wearing friends who also recognize luxury when they see it. They can feel good about making their event special with high-end bakery items. They know that they are not Walmart customers, and they place value on treating themselves to high-end merchandise, like your cookies or baked goods. On the flip side, your pricing and the branding you match it to deflects bargain shoppers. I honestly don't get very many how much inquiries anymore. Thank goodness. And now if I offer a discount or free product to a client because I know it will lead to future full price orders, it's a huge freaking deal that they value because it's not something that I offer every time I need to drum up sales. So something to remember, you know you're priced right when your customers complain, but buy anyway. I love that quote from John Harrison. He's an 18th century inventor. Step 2, in 3 ways you're killing your bakery business, skipping everything that you think is boring. Math, marketing, anything that doesn't involve royal icing or watching Sweet Ams do crazy cookie decorating stuff on YouTube because she's actually a cyborg, making a website, all that other scary stuff. Maybe you hate sales and don't want to feel like a salesperson. Maybe you suck at writing social media posts. Maybe you're terrible at math, or maybe you really think that if you have the best decorating skills in town, people will choose you because they'll see your high quality of level of decorating. I hate to break it to you, but you're wrong. Successful businesses spend as much time on the boring business details as they do on the decorating. Staying so busy with orders that you neglect the details is what hobbyists and myself for a long time do. Girl, you're a businesswoman now. Act like one. So what exactly are some of these boring business details we should be cultivating? First, you're a salesperson now. Congratulations. I don't care if you hate sales and salespeople. Anyone in business for themselves spends more time on sales than almost anything else, including decorating cookies. Remember those blue jeans that everybody wants, no matter the community? Somebody sold those jeans. We weren't born needing a $150 pair of jeans. We heard about them from a friend or saw an advertisement, heard a commercial. We were sold on them regardless of the price. If you are the thing that is going to set your business apart from everyone else, then you better get good at selling yourself. I realize this sounds very Pretty Woman, but really, people will buy from you because of your you-ness. The way you sell your product is how you're going to be different from the rest. Your ability to sell can mean the difference between a one-time order or a monthly or even weekly order, or maybe a larger order that time, or a more expensive design if you can demonstrate that value to your client. Second, you need a clarity of purpose that can only come from knowing exactly who you are and where you are headed. So Christy Wright, one of my favorite podcasts, The Business Boutique is what she does. She's amazing. Says that taking time to stop and reset and think about the future is always going to be what will help you actually make that future a reality. So keeping your eye on the prize will allow you to make decisions that will pave the way for meeting your goals. Third, there is no such thing as business or pleasure anymore. They're the same thing. As my business coach, Michaela Irvin, says, your social media should look like a magazine and not an article. Your brand will be a destination for your ideal client when you make branding a priority. And finally, math. We're all grown in here. I know. I have never been that great at math. I have to see how it's done. You show it to me. I will write it down. I'll practice it 40 times, put it into context, practice it again, and then I will finally understand it. But math is absolutely necessary for business success. How can you possibly know if you're meeting your goals if you have no idea where you stand financially? The bottom line is that your bottom line indicates the health of your business, not your latest skill learned at a cookie class, even though I freaking love those things. They're so much fun. Another favorite quote of mine, people who wish to go into the future should have two skills to succeed, the ability to deal with people and the ability to sell. I would add also math there, everything you need. Step 3 in how you're killing your business, you're making it a solo act. I'm a true believer in learning stuff off the internet. For the first 4 or 5 years of my business, I didn't ever take a decorating class. I learned 100% of my decorating skills from online tutorials. God bless people like Sweet Sugar Belle and Lila Loa. But it took me a really long time to learn, like maybe 8,000 or 10,000 cookies later, which I'm pretty sure is not normal. I'm sure you got better in a lot faster time period. I just didn't have anybody there to teach me. No one pointed out that if I'd started using tipless bags when they got popular, that I would have saved myself a lot of heartache instead of being the slowest, most stubborn person out there. And you can totally learn everything you need to from free tutorials, articles, podcasts, online resources. You can learn everything about decorating as well as business skills. I am not saying that. It just takes time, right? Lots and lots of time. And in business, time is money. You can do one thing really well, maybe a few things adequately, but you cannot do everything perfectly all the time. So while you're spending all your time researching business tips on the internet, you'll be neglecting something else. It's either going to be your family, you'll neglect your actual business while you learn how to run your actual business, or you'll neglect your health because you got to sleep at some point. Sorry to break it to you. But mentoring allows you to skip ahead. It's basically a shortcut to success in your business. You can learn from somebody's mistakes and then don't do them. You can get accountability, have somebody else yell at you. It's nice to have somebody yell at you occasionally. I need that from time to time. You can get a cheerleader for when you don't need to be yelled at, someone who can see your future better than you can. And when I say mentor, it doesn't even have to be someone in person, face to face. My mentors were Lila Loa and Sweet Sugar Belle. I've never met either of them, but they were amazing because of their content. Their content and the way they addressed to themselves, to their people, is what mentored me. And that made a huge difference in my business when I was starting out. So you can totally forge each road in business by yourself, but why wouldn't you build on the success of others? Some of the benefits of having a mentor, I always try to look at people who are at the top of their game, see what they're doing, and do that same thing. We can all agree that CEOs are doing something right. They got to the top of their game somehow. Turns out that 80% of them are using some type of mentoring to stay at the top of their business. Mentors can literally shave years off of your learning curve. It makes me want to cry looking back at all the years I spent wasting time. I grew more in 1 month with my mentor than I did in 5 years of doing business on my own. I can't imagine where I would have been if I would have hired my business coach 5 years ago. I actually try not to think about it. It makes me feel ill. But the reality is I'm very fortunate that I'm still in business after 8 years because statistically 50% of new businesses fail within 5 years. One more statistic for you, 70% of businesses utilizing mentors last longer than 5 years. That's a much better chance on your success with your investment that you've made. Obviously, many factors go into the failures of those businesses, the 50% that fail, but I think we can all agree that for home bakers, loneliness and feeling like you've done everything that you know to do can have a hugely demoralizing effect on you. I quit every 6 months for a while. The first 5 years of my business, I was beyond burned out. A business mentor would have seen that burnout coming and helped me, educated me, and supported me in a way that would have prevented those disasters from happening in the first place. So today I promised you I would show you the 3 mistakes you're making that are guaranteed to send you down the path to business misery, ultimately resulting in failure and giving up on your dream. I promised that we would discover freedom from pricing pitfalls, but you would learn how to make a priority in a sometimes overwhelming occupation, that you would understand why reaching out for help can be the most significant factor in business survival. Well, now you know what not to do, right? So you have a choice. You can keep doing exactly what you've been doing. You may have been doing it for a while now, like I was. Even though continuing to do the same things and expecting different results is the actual definition of insanity. I mean, it might turn out differently this time, right? Who knows? Or you can admit that you don't know everything, even though you've been doing this for a while, maybe. You can start making some scary changes in your business, and you can start seeing the results that I and many other people in our career are seeing every day. Those people that we look at on Instagram and really want to be like. You can start taking the passion that you brought into your bakery and turn it into the next level of business success so that you can meet and exceed your goals and dreams. But it is 100% totally up to you. You've got to take the responsibility that the success or the failure of your bakery is in your hands. And I get it. You don't have a lot of extra cash lying around to just throw your problems. When I hired my business coach, it was the scariest investment of my life. It was a big freaking deal. I get that. You probably started this business or are starting it, to get some extra cash. Or maybe you're already staying up all night just to try to stay ahead of the responsibilities you have as a wife, a mom, a small business owner. You can't imagine making the time to invest in your business like you know you need to. Maybe when the kids are older, or it's summertime and they're out of school, or there's a lull in orders, or your responsibilities at your day job. Calm down a little. But listen, admit it. There's really never going to be a perfect time to focus solely on your business. But what it is time for is to step back, admit that you're ready to take the next step in leveling up your business, even if it looks crazy to those people watching. Because I want those same people that are looking at you like that to be shocked at how far you've come next year at this time. Not in 5 years or in 7 years like me. Do it now. You've done enough. Let someone else give you a hand up. So here's how I can help. I would love to be your mentor. I adore home bakers because, hello, I am a home baker. I still work every day at my cookie job because I love it and I'm darn good at it. I know what you're going through, lady. I hear you. I was you for a long time. I wasted money and time on things that were fun at the time, but were not propelling my business forward to a place where I had more time and more money to spend on what I wanted. I know what's going to take to double or triple or quintuple your income next year. I'm taking everything that I learned from my business coach, the one that was my biggest, scariest investment, and I'm interpreting it for you into content that every home baker needs to run a successful business that helps you meet your goals and dreams at a fraction of the price. Because, yeah, you can learn it all on your own, but remember, your time is money. Let someone else dig through the trash for those diamonds for you. Introducing Home Bakery 101. Taking your home bakery from hobby to main hustle without losing its soul. It's a brand new business course that I've created that will include everything you need to start or refine your home bakery into a business powerhouse. It will include 8 video modules, and we'll discuss those modules in detail here in a minute. Every module will have homework for you to complete in your own gorgeous journal that I'm designing and is also included in the package. It's going to be on real paper because I like to touch things. Maybe I'm old school or maybe just old. I'll also be nagging you like a good coach in a weekly email, as well as answering questions, providing business tips and homework reminders. If you put in the hard work, what can you expect to get out of this course? By the end, you'll have an understanding about the Texas Cottage Food Law that you've never had before, as well as other legalities that can affect your business. You'll have set goals, you'll have a definite plan on how to reach them, and you'll be implementing daily actions that will set your bakery up for a lifetime of success. You'll also have a clarity of purpose and knowledge that you need to operate a successful home bakery with a clear vision and the skills you need to excel today without waiting for someday. So here's a brief overview of the 8 modules included in Home Bakery 101. In the first module, we'll discuss the ins and outs of the Texas Cottage Food Law, including its inception, requirements, and the spirit, as well as the letter of the law, which can be quite different depending on interpretation. In Module 2, we'll cover business planning, which is a fancy way of saying goals. I want you to get you dreaming again, regardless of your past failures. I know that can be scary. And I want you to dig deep to see what you actually want out of life. We'll be making goals, mission statements, refining them, and clarifying the actions necessary to meet those goals. In Module 3, we'll be getting into the nuts and bolts and discovering what your ingredients say about you. We'll discuss different options and the best equipment. I'll show you what I use and why it's what I've decided to use after 15,000 cookies. And I'll finally get to use my background as a dietitian to discuss some nutrition issues like allergies and gluten-free foods. We'll also be tackling the sticky subject of copyright law. In Module 4, we'll hit the books and price out our recipes using those ingredients we just decided on. We'll talk about how to save for your next food disaster because KitchenAid seem to have a death wish, am I right? Always right in the middle of like a 400 cookie order. That's when it's going to give up the ghost on you. We'll be determining ways to increase your profits and when donations are a good idea and when they're not. In Module 5, we'll discuss the benefits and drawbacks of a CPA, why you need an LLC, and do you need help making one, the benefits of using a business bank account, and several methods of electronic record keeping. In Module 6, you'll meet your ideal client and learn why you'll only be speaking to her for the rest of your career. You'll learn how to find your audience, how to decide on a social media platform or two, and how to not get unfriended by being obnoxious on Facebook. Don't be that guy. In Module 7, you'll learn how to not sell cookies like a used car dealer. We'll be taking a new view on sales as a solution to a problem. We'll be learning about the right mentality for sales, as well as how to build a relationship with your customers and weed out the bargain shoppers that we don't necessarily want. In Module 8, we'll take a look at the world of commercial kitchens and learn how to tell if you're ready for the big leagues of commercial baking. We'll also discuss the differences between home baking legalities and what's required when baking in a commercial kitchen. So how do you know if this course is for you? Well, if you're a motivated lady wanting to start a home bakery, then you absolutely need this course to get off on the right foot. I desperately wish this would have been around to help me start out 8 years ago. Do not run just on passion and pretty cookies. It is not enough. If you're a beginning home baker who kind of knows what to do as far as decorating is concerned, but wants to set up the best business practices to succeed, then this is definitely for you. Again, this is a huge step in the right direction to making sure your business starts off on the right foot. Or if you're like I was, an experienced home baker who's about ready to quit because you've done everything you know and you're ready to take your business to the next level, but you don't know what to do, then this is definitely for you. It's time to lose the pride that can come with feeling like you have too much experience to need a 101 course, and admit that you need help like a beginner, and that's okay. But who is this not for? If you're just wanting to sell a few baked goods around the holidays, you don't really care if you make much money, you're happy to just play around in the kitchen, then this ain't for you. There is no shame in that. You know what you want, and it's not to be a powerhouse home business. This is not a problem for me. You probably make amazing cookies, and you may have a better time at it than the rest of us because there's none of the pressure of a business, and that's totally fine. Excuse me. Getting a cough from too much talking. Or if you're someone who isn't willing to succeed, to spend the time and energy it's going to take to build your business into a thriving bakery, then no, this isn't for you either. You've got to put the work in Spending the money without putting the work in is like dropping a well down a bucket and throwing the rope in after it and wondering why your crops are dying of thirst. This is Texas. We make farming analogies, apparently. So if you wanted to learn all the information from my Home Bakery 101 course on your own, you totally could. That's the thing. I'm not telling you can't get this information anywhere else. People learn how to do this stuff on their own all the time. That's totally fine. I'm awesome. Don't get me wrong, but you could definitely do this your own way. But it will take you years. At least 3 is what I'm estimating. I have a lot of experience in things that I've learned by doing everything wrong for a really long time. I'm offering you a shortcut. That's what mentors are for, right? So for less than the total price of a hotel and everything for CookieCon, you can take your business to the next level and start seeing true success in 8 short weeks with no annoying TSA lines or plane rides. And a stranger cuddled with this hotel comforter last night and probably sat on this couch naked. Or is that just my OCD talking? Anyone else super squicked out by hotels? Every time I stay in them, I'm like, they should just burn these comforters or at least wash them occasionally. Back to content. Oh, there we go. No hotel stays. The modules will be released once a week, and you'll have several days to complete the coursework at your own pace. If you need several days to mull over your goal setting, that's totally fine. Work when you want, how you want, in your sweatpants. We won't judge you. You do you. By now, you want to know exactly how much this is going to cost you. I get that. With the early bird pricing I'm offering for a limited time, you're looking at a 23% savings over regular pricing. So for a very limited time through March 13th, although we may be bumping that out a little bit since a lot of people haven't had a chance to see this recording yet, I'm offering Home Bakery 101 for the pre-sale price of $500. It's $150 off the regular price. The course will start on April 5th, which is less than a month from now. So if you're sighing in defeat right now because you don't have $500 to your name, then you're in luck because I'm offering a payment plan. You only need $175 today to secure your pre-sale pricing with an additional 2 monthly payments of $175. That's like 1 week's worth of cookie orders. And as soon as you start the pricing module, you'll be doing better too. This payment plan price is only available until next week though. So a couple of things to think about when you think about the pricing here. Brand designers charge $3,000 to start this exact same process. Business coaches charge over $5,000 to work with you one-on-one. College business courses or professional workshops can cost over $1,500. The content you're getting in my Home Bakery 101 course will save you both time and money, not to mention shaving years of experience from your learning curve. So if you're tired of where you've been, you're unhappy with where you are, or you're looking forward to a different future, I want to be there to help you get there. I want to see you make a different story for yourself and your family, for your bakery. You can go to www.cookiesplease.com/homebakery101 to take advantage of the pre-sale pricing or payment plan that'll only be available until next week. I'm looking forward to working with you on taking your business to the next level and meeting those goals. You go, girl. I'm excited about this. Thank you for joining me here today. You can also email me if you have any questions at jennifer@cookiesplease.com. Looking forward to talking to y'all.